Hey, what's up guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. The strangeness around Earth and in space continues in today's video, and I first want to start off with a clip captured by a backyard astronomer who was taking some beautiful night shots of the Orion Nebula, which if you don't know, a nebula is basically a massive cloud of dust out in space containing millions of stars, billions, and in this case, we have the Orion Nebula, which is situated within our own Milky Way galaxy and is one of the brightest nebula and is even visible to the naked eye in the night sky in certain places. There are some beautiful telescopic shots of Orion Nebula. More to the point, shots that have captured some very strange things that for some reason seem to occur or seem to happen around this massive cloud of dust in the night sky. And so we have this new clip here where, yet again, an astronomer who was snapping pics and videos of this nebula captured something very strange moving through the frame, a UFO, or possibly more than one UFO. So go ahead and check this out. Okay, so this was captured and then uploaded to the YouTube channel Space Images, where he says that while taking photos of the M42 Orion Nebula, he captured what either could be one, but appears in the video to be possibly four mysterious objects passing through space right in view of the camera. I mean, it's a beautiful shot. And as we're zoomed in here, you can see it's right off here to the right of the nebula. So I'm not saying this is right next to the nebula or coming from the nebula, but it's in the photo, okay? It's in the vicinity of the Orion constellation and nebula, or at least in that direction. There's no way of telling how far in space or how near this mysterious object is. And as you're seeing in this close-up shot here, there's definitely some movement. Something is moving out there in space. And you can see some other faint objects that may be reflections, although I would think if it was just a reflection, there would just be one of them, but there seems to be at least four that I can count, or, well, maybe three. So we have one here on either side of the object that all seem to be moving in unison, and then behind the object, which is the more mysterious one to me, we see another faint object trailing it, which is very strange to me, because I could understand a reflection maybe from the telescope on either side of it, but this one far in the back has got me wondering if this is more than one object. But even if it's just this one, as you guys can see, it takes on this sort of elongated or cigar shape. It continues its movement until disappearing out of frame of the camera and the telescope. And I don't know what it is, like I said, about Orion Nebula, but a lot of strange objects have been captured there, and I've posted those in videos in the past. We have images like this, very controversial image, where again we had multiples of these things. What many have described as giant cigar UFOs captured near the nebula. This was, I believe, taken or captured back in October of 2017, which was actually, some might coincidentally say, was not that long after the mysterious Oumuamua cigar-shaped object was detected, blasting through our solar system from interstellar space. Again, cigar-shaped, just like we're seeing here. And then later, in December of 2017, we had another so-called large cigar witnessed again by the same astronomer, who was again taking in data of the M42 Orion Nebula. Whatever it was moving past or in front of the nebula, And, in my opinion, images like this can't be denied. And then right after that, we have the detection of this object here, or this is an artist's rendition. So it may have been much more artificial looking. We don't know. But of course, they're going to make it look out to be just an asteroid. But this is the famous Oumuamua that we've spoken about so many times. So on to the next real quick is another photo taken of what, again, many have said was a large brown in color cigar-shaped object captured deep within the nebula. So deep within the gas cloud. Some have said that this is another elusive object. Others have said that this is just a star behind some dust. But I'll leave that up to you guys. So very interesting footage here. Tell me what you guys think. I will put the link to this down below. Head over, show them some love. And also, recently captured more strange things in space, this time by the Stereo satellite, which is one of many satellites that we put out into space specifically to monitor the sun and take photos and video of the sun. And so a viewer here on YouTube was cycling through some recent images of our sun and the space surrounding it. The sun is actually up here behind this white circle outline. So the sun is behind that. You can see the sun's rays coming out from it. And suddenly, on January 29th of this year, we had appear what the viewer only described as the Great White Anomaly that suddenly appeared on the SETI COR-2A satellite, where we have what I can only say is an enormous object, which is likely much closer to Earth than the sun, because if this thing was next to the sun or anywhere near it, it would be bigger than the sun. So it's probably much closer to the satellite and planet Earth itself, but it's still way out there in space. And it doesn't look like a camera reflection or a space particle or dust or anything like that I've ever seen. And so at this point, definitely a mystery, definitely a UFO. And unfortunately, we just can't get any more detail from whatever this is. It's moving, looks fairly quickly past the camera. Either that or they've edited it out and put this sort of massive white blur in front of it. But add it to one of the hundreds, if not thousands, of strange, unidentified objects captured near our sun, passing by our sun, sometimes even interacting with our sun. And we can go on and on discussing theories about what these things are doing there, where they came from. Many believe that they're siphoning energy from our sun, much like you would charge a battery to a spacecraft. So put your opinions about that down below. You guys have heard me talk many times. I think it's a very plausible theory that an advanced civilization would power their craft from the stars, from their suns. So tell me what you think about this. And lastly today, we have a news story coming out of Germany, it looks like, and this is translating from the article, and you're seeing video here, but I believe they're speaking German in it, so there's no point in playing the audio, but I'll link it down below, where apparently thousands of headless fish were found washed ashore at the Baltic Harbor, where, as I said, many of the heads of the fish seem to have vanished in what the article describes as not only striking, but that also looked like, quote, partially mechanical effects on the fish, as in something mechanical did this to them. In the video, you can see the fish being, well, fished out of the water. You'll notice there's some ducks and birds and stuff like that, but that they're coming after. So they're not responsible for what happened to the fish. And if you look at many of them in the close-up or pause it in certain spots in the video, you can see it's razor sharp, and it's like a perfect U shape, the way the heads are carved off of the fish and are much wider than any of these ducks or birds. It definitely looks surgical or mechanical, as described in the article. You'll read a ton of stories about fish washing up ashore by the millions all around the world due to various natural things, but when they're missing their, well, heads, that definitely makes you wonder. And apparently there's an investigation ongoing where authorities have come in, they're trying to figure out what happened, and they're, taking samples and trying to figure out what happened to the fish, and more to the point, what happened to their bodies in the process. So really, really strange. We talk a lot about what happens to cattle and other, land animals, but when it happens to fish like this, and you see again what's described as mechanical effects, that makes you wonder. So tell me what you guys think down below. And with that, I'm going to jump off here. I'm going to get back to work. Sorry for the scarcity of videos lately, guys. I am getting over almost a 2-week flu where my voice was completely gone. I'm still a little hoarse, as you guys may tell. So thank you all for being patient with me. Stay tuned, stay safe, and I'll see you back in just a bit.